Okay, students, so next chapter is inverse trigonometric function. By the word itself, you can understand inverse of what? Trigonometric function. Now, in your class 11, you have studied about 6 trigonometric function. Remember sine x, or I will write sine, cosine. Then you have studied about tangent. Then you have studied about cosec, sec, cot. Right, so these are the 6 trigonometric function. Now why it is called function, that also you will understand now. Okay, this 6 trigonometric function we have studied. Right now in this class what we will study is we will study inverse of this trigonometric function, inverse trigonometric function. Now to understand inverse trigonometric function, your first chapter must be clear properly. Okay, so try to see that one carefully and try to understand, and then you can understand this one. So see here, in to get inverse trigonometric function means what? I have to find out inverse of this one, right? This function. So see, inverse of function, what we have studied, when you have a function f defined from set a to b, okay, this is called domain, this is called codomain, remember. And it will be function when if all element of this definition is very important here, if all element of this set will have image, first thing. Okay, every element must, there should not be any free element here, so every element must have image here, right? Next, what was the condition for function? Every element must have exactly how many image? One image. So a is having one image, b is having one image, c is having one image, right? So we don't see for this one, we see for if you want to see whether it is a function or not, the mapping which is defined from here to here, if it is function or not, if you want to know, you have to check only two things. What is that? Every element here is having image or not and next, every element having exactly one image or not. You have to check that two things. If it satisfies that two condition, then this mapping will be called as function. So f is a function, right? This was the definition. Now see the important thing, what we are going to study, inverse, right? So when this function will have inverse, like sine function you have studied in class 11, right? So it's inverse, it must exist, then only you will find out inverse of sine, right? Sine inverse when it will exist. Same way here, try to understand function, this is a function, then it's inverse when it will exist. When you find out inverse, its codomain will become domain. Remember, inverse we have studied like this, right? We used to reverse the definition. So function was defined from a to b. Now when you find inverse, inverse will be defined from b to a. Okay, so see here, a image was 1, b image was 2, c image was 3. So when you make it inverse, the function inverse, 1 image will become a, 2 image will be b, 3 image will be c. We have reversed the definition, right? Now this will be inverse. To check whether it is function or not, again what you have to check, all this element is having image or not, first thing. Next, all this element is having, this is very important here, if you want to understand the inverse of this trigonometry function, you need to understand this one first carefully. Okay, so you need to check every element is having image or not. Yes, it is having. And every element how many image? Exactly one image. So this is also function, so this will be called as inverse function of f. So see here, when we've studied trigonometry also, this was the function, right? Now why it is function, I will explain why this are called function. Okay, now when I will discuss about its inverse function, then remember this condition must satisfy. When for example suppose this is, a sine function, this time fx is equal to sine x, suppose function is sine x. Okay, so domain is suppose this one a b, just example I'm giving. If domain is like this, this is sine function, right? So see here, if this is x value, this will be what? Sine of x value, right? Now see, if you take a, x equal to a, its image must be there, first thing. If you take b, its image must be there, means sine of b, some value must be there. C, some value must be there. Now next, if this fx have to be function, then what condition must satisfy? Every element here must have image and exactly one image. Now see, I will, and its inverse, if you want to define what condition must satisfy every element of this one, this second set will become first set here, first set will become second set, codomain will become domain, domain will become codomain. This is about inverse I'm talking about. Okay, so every element here also must have image. Now see, if I have to plot for sin x, what is the domain? You know how to find out domain now, right? This is just example I have taken. Okay, if this function is now sin x function now, then every element here must have image here. And how many image? Exactly one image, and this image will be what? Sin of x only. Okay, right? So when you do inverse, then this condition must satisfy. Every element here must have image, and then exactly one image. Now when it is possible, remember we have studied in first chapter, if f is bijective, then only you can have inverse function, right? If it is not bijective, means not 1 1 or not on 2, then you cannot have inverse function. So this is very important here. So see here, sin x, first we will find out the domain and then the range, okay, for sin x function. So instead of writing f, I will write sin here. Okay, so you need to understand this is sin x function, this is x, this will be sin of x. I hope you have understood. Fx we can write, function of x we can write now sin x. This is function of x. Okay, so see here how we used to find out domain last time. Remember this, if I write down f of x, how we used to find out domain? Remember, I will put all the real number here in place of x and will check what kind of y value you will get. This is also called y, right? Fx I can write y also. X, what value I can put such that I will get y defined value. Defined value means real value. So what value of x I can take? Now first thing, what was this x? Angle. Remember this was angle. Sin x means what? This is nothing but ratio formed in a right angle triangle when this angle will be formed in this right angle triangle. For example, this one, this whatever is this angle, what ratio we will get between perpendicular and hypotenuse, that ratio is called sin of x, right? That was simple definition. Anyway, so what we are trying to find here is domain and range. Why we are finding domain and range? Because see, to find out inverse of this function, what we need codomain and domain, right? Then only you can reverse it like this. Yes or no? Then only you can get the inverse function. So you have to know domain, you have to know range. When you know this two, what I will do, I will reverse this one. When I will reverse this, I will get the inverse, right? Now you just need to check whether it is function or not. If it is function, then this will be inverse function. Understood? So first what we are doing to find out inverse of this 6 trigonometric function. We are studying about inverse trigonometric function, right? To find out inverse of this 6 trigonometric function, what I will do, I will find out domain of this and codomain. Domain and codomain of this also. This also, this also, this also, this also. So once I know domain and codomain, its inverse how I'll find out. Codomain I will make it domain, domain I will make it codomain, right? Then I will check whether it is function or not. If it is function, then that will become inverse trigonometric function of sine, right? Next also codomain, domain I will make, and then we'll check whether function or not. If it is function, that will be inverse trigonometric function. Okay, of all this we will check like that. Clear? So that's why we will find out first domain and range, so that I can find out this domain. Let me write down D here, and this will be codomain. Okay, so why I'm finding this one? Because when you write down inverse, we have to find out inverse, right? When you find out inverse, you need this codomain of sine and domain of sine with that, so that you can reverse this one. So this will become inverse. So I will not write down the symbol right now. If I write this one f, this will be f of inverse function, this one, right? So for this inverse, I need domain and codomain first. Okay, first important thing. So I have to find out domain and range. So how I'll find? Now why I said range, that I will explain later. Okay, I'm not saying codomain, I will simply say range. I don't need here codomain, actually I need range only. Why range? I will explain later. Okay, so how we used to find out? First thing, the range, the domain and range. How we used to find out? Domain, very simple. What real value I can take here such that you will get y defined value. Obviously I can take any value, right? Remember in class 11 you have studied this was what? Angle, right? So sine 30 was how much? Some value, right? Sine 90 some value. You remember how to find out the values? Sine 180 will give you some value. Remember, this angle is nothing but this x now I'm taking. So when you take x equal to 30 degree, you will get some value or not? Real value. You will get, right? When you take 90 degree, this is 90 suppose, then what you will get? Some real value you will get. 180 if you take, you know how to find out sine 180, right? We have discussed this one in class 11 only. So some sine 180 also will give you some real value. Sine 270 also real value, 360 real value. In this way, see what I am defining: x 30, x is 30, then some real value, 90 real value, 180 real value, 270 real value, 360 some real value. Now again, if you keep on moving around, moving like this, you will get some angle, right? Which will keep on getting bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. So see, I'm taking all the real value here. Now not only 30, you can take less than 30 also. Sine 15, how much it will be? You know how to find out sine 15 also. We have already done this one in class 11, right? So sine 15 also will have some real value here. And that real value, if you try to find out, it will be between -1 to 1. Okay, if you want to find out sine 0, first 0 degree suppose, without rotation, any rotation. So sine 0 is how much? 0. Sine 30 is how much? 1 by 2. Then sine 45, 45 will be somewhere in the middle, right? Sine 45 will be how much? 1 by root 2. Like that you move on, keep on moving here. Sine 60 will be how much? Sine 60 will be again root 3 by 2. Then sine 90 will be how much? 1. In this way, can you see you are getting the real value 0 to 1 here. Then if you keep on moving here also, you will get some real value, that will be till -1. Then if you keep on moving again, you will get till, you will always get value between -1 to 1, because you know, right, we have done this one 360 more angle. If you move more, that is 390. If I ask you to find out, how you will find out? 390, sine of 390. Remember, we used to convert this one in terms of multiple of pi by 2, and then we used to check out whether this pi by 2 is multiply pi by 2 plus or minus whatever something you will get here. This we used to check whether it is odd multiple or even multiple. If it is odd multiple, sine ratio will change, sine trigonometry function will change. If it is even multiple, then it will not change, right? This was the rule which we have studied in class 11. So this is how I can find out the value of sine 390 also. And 390, how will find out? By converting into this degree. I will convert in terms of, remember, this sum or subtraction of this value is very important. This value I will convert in terms of multiple of 90, along with that either 30 degree, 0 degree, 60, 90, like that we used to convert, remember. So with the help of that only I will find out, right, 390 also. So obviously it will be also between -1 to 1. So if you keep on moving like this, you can see x value, what I can take? I can take infinite values here. All the real value I can take or not. So can I say the domain value for all real value, what you will get? Y value you will get always between -1 to, either you will get -1 or between -1 to 1, or you will get 1. I hope you have understanding. If I take x 30 or first 0, then y how much I will get? Sine 0 is 0. Between -1 and 1, right? If I take x 30, what I will get? I will get 1 by 2 between -1 and 1. If I take this one 45, 1 by root 2 between -1 and 1. If I take 60, 1 root 3 by 2. If I take 90, you will get 1. If I take more, something you will get between -1 to 1 only. Okay, so whatever x value you take, real number, anything you take. Why I'm saying real number also you have understood, I guess. Angle, instead of talking about 30 degree, I can talk about this one in terms of radian. Remember, I have explained, in graph we don't plot degrees. What we plot? Radian. Pi by 2, like that. Pi by 3, pi by 2, like that we used to put, remember. So That's why I'm saying this one real value. I can take any real value here for which I will get define y. Minus 1 to 1 means what? You will get real value or not. So whatever real number you take in place of x, your y also will be real number. Right? So when your function is sine of x, what will be your domain? Domain was x value, right? This was sine of x. So your domain will be what? All real numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, or everything I can take. Minus 1, minus 2. Remember, sine of minus pi by 2. How much? You can find out this one also. This how we used to solve. Remember, this negative sign we always used to remove from bracket inside. And for removing this one, we had rule, right? Remember, sine of minus theta. What we used to write? Minus sine theta. So this will be how much? Minus sine of 90 is how much? 1. So you can see sine of minus pi by 2 is how much? Minus 1. So let me write down here. Instead of minus real number like this, I will write minus, this is nothing but minus 1.57 like that. Okay, so here I will write pi by 2. This also will be something in terms of radian I can write, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, everything I can write in terms of radian like this. Okay, pi by 2 here, 3 pi by 2 like that will come out, all the values. Okay, minus 3 pi by 2 like that. Okay, so for minus pi by 2, what is the image? Why, what we got? When we put x equal to minus pi by 2, x minus pi by 2, when I took image I got minus 1. When I took pi by 2 image, what I got? 1. So similarly, if I take here the value something here, then what image I will get? Obviously between minus 1 and 1 I will get something. If I take between this one minus pi by 2 and this one, if I take, I will get some value here. Now the important thing is, this is quite small, I guess. Let me make a little more bigger so that you can see all the angles. What I'm trying to explain here, you can see. Okay, so I made it a little bigger, you can see here. Now see, if I take x equal to 0, you can check. Okay, you already know how to find out these values, right? If I take x 0, sine 0 is how much? Fx will be how much? Sine 0 will be 0. So you can see image will be, let me write down here, fx, this one will be x, or you can write sine of x also anyway. So if I take x equal to 0, then image you will get 0 only, right? Now if I take x equal to minus pi by 2, if I take x equal to minus pi by 2, that is sine minus pi by 2, you find the value, you will get minus pi by 2 is equal to minus 1, means image of this one will be minus 1. Okay, next if I take pi by 2, okay, I will show this one with the help of graph also, it's very interesting. Okay, and why it is called function also. So if I take pi by 2, then you will get how much? 1, positive 1. Okay, in this way you keep on moving, and you take 3 pi by 2. Okay, if you take 3 pi by 2, you will get minus 1. You can check, find out the value. Sine 3 pi by 2, you will get this one equal to minus 1. You can check 3 pi by, and between this, if you take pi by 2 and this one, if you take between this one, you will get between minus 1 and 1 value. Okay, something you will get between this. Clear? So if I take 5 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, you will get again 1 equal to 1. Okay, same way if you find out minus 5 pi by 2, you will get minus 1. Minus 7 pi by 2, you will get 1. What I am trying to explain here, you will understand later. Just see what I am getting here. 7 pi by 2, you will get minus 1. So if you keep on moving here, you will see that you will either get minus 1 or between this one. Whatever real value you take it. Now why I am saying this real value? This is nothing but real number only. 0, 1, 2, 3 like that only. So pi by 2, what is the value? If you want to find out in terms of real number, you will get 1.57 something like that you will get. Okay, if I show you in the calculator, you can see here, if I put pi divide 2, pi by 2 is how much? 1.57, real number, right? So 1.57 image will be this one. So I hope you can understand. 1. Pi by 2 is how much? 1.5707963268, this value. So obviously those real number, all the real numbers I cannot write. So instead of writing in that way, I have written in radian, right? So pi by 2 image you will get 1. So if you put pi by 2 here in place of x, you will get fx equal to how much? 1. Like that, if you keep on finding. So 3 pi by 2, for example, if you want to know what is the real value of this, 3 pi by 2. Divide 2, how much you will get? 4.71. okay, so why I'm putting this bracket, some of you don't know. If I don't put bracket here, no problem, okay, but still some students, they don't understand this Bodmas rule, okay, so that's why I'm putting here bracket. So 4.71 you will get. 4.71 is how much? It's a real number only, right? 4.71. So it will be so if you take between pi by 2 and this one, what value will be there? This is 1.57 and this is 4.71. So it will be something between this. If you find out the number, it will be 3 point something, a 3, or all those real numbers will be come out. So those values, if you want to find out the image, it will be always between -1 to 1. Is this clear? So all those number I can find out the image. So in this way, if you keep on finding image always you will get -1 to 1. Okay, so now I will show this one in the graph. You can check this one in the graph how it will be. So first thing you can see, I don't know whether it is visible or not. This is your x-axis, which I have taken in terms of radian here, pi by 2. Remember I told you in class 11 to plot in the graph, we take angle in terms of radian, not in degree. Degree we cannot. Degree is not a real number, right? Degree is totally different term. That's why we use angle in terms of radian. Radian will help you to plot that one, to plot angles on the graph, right? So you can see all the angles, that is x value. You can see function is what? Fx equal to sine of x. So x I am taking in the x-axis, y I am taking in the y-axis. This I can write it as y also. This is how you used to plot graph, right? X value you take it, then y value you find out. We used to plot point there, and then in this way we used to find out the graph, right? So I will take one by one x value. Suppose x is 0. How we used to plot the graph? Remember, x I will take 0, then y, how much you will get? 0. So your point will be here only, right? In this point only, origin only. Then next what you will take? X you will take pi by 2, right? X, when it is pi by 2, how much is y? Y will be 1. So where you will take 1? Here, right? So your second point will be here. So between this, if you plot here and somewhere here, you will get between 0 and between 0 and 1 you will get something, right? If you take, I hope it's clear, if you take x 0, your y also 0, so the point will be here only. If you take x pi by 2, y will be 1. Just now we have seen 1. So if you take x between 0 to pi by 2, if you take here, your y will be somewhere between 0 to 1 only, here somewhere. Okay, so same way if you try to plot minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2 is here, minus pi by 2 is here. What answer we got? Y, how much you got? Minus pi by 2, y you got minus 1. So minus 1 will be where? Here, right? So minus, when your x is minus pi by 2, your y is minus 1. In this way, if I plot all this point here, what kind of graph? Now x, how many values you have? Infinite. So you keep on finding in this graph, you keep on putting x value, y value, something you will get, and y value always you will get between -1 to 1. Okay, this is your -1, y value is -1 to 1. So always in between this one, y you will never get something bigger like this. Okay, so see, when I will draw graph, what you will get? It will be something like this. I hope you can see. Can you see? x value whatever you are taking, y value what you will get? Here 1, here -1, 1, in between -1 and 1. Can you see? It will never be, if I zoom out this one, you can see always -1 to 1 the graph. You will never get y somewhere here. I hope you can understand. This is the graph of sin x. So if you plot all the real numbers like this, pi by 2, whatever you will take. So you can see in the graph itself, when your x I took pi by 2, your y is how much? Your y is how much? 1. Can you see? When you take pi, your y is 0. When you take 3 pi by 2, your y is how much? Can you see? When I mark this one, what value it shows? You just see here. When I mark, it shows 4.71. This is value of 3 pi by 2 in terms of real number. Okay. So I hope you can understand the graph of sin x. Now why it is called function. So see carefully the mapping again. You can see all real numbers is having image or not. It is having image. Definition of function was what? All element must have image first thing. Okay, and how many image? Exactly 1. So you can see minus 5 by 2, how many image it is having? Only 1. Minus 1. You will, when you will put minus 5 by 2, 5 pi by 2 here, you will get minus 1 only. You will not get any other value here. Okay, you will get minus 1 only. So it will form this image. You can see all element is having how many image? Exactly 1 image. Pi by 2, when you put exactly 1, what is the image of pi by 2? 1 only. It is not having another image again, right? So all element is having image, as well as all element is having how many image? Exactly 1 image. So whatever x value you put, y value you will get only 1. Okay, exactly 1 value, 1 real number you will get. So that's why this function is called, or this trigonometry is called trigonometric function. It is called function because it satisfies all the condition of function. Okay, and its graph is, I have already shown you, right? Graph is very important here. Graph is this one. Okay, so you can see when I take x equal to pi by 2, your y is 1. When I take x equal to 3 pi by 2, your y is minus 1. When I take 5 pi by 2, your y is 1. When I take 7 pi by 2, again y is minus 1. 9 pi by 2, again 1. So in this way, you can see in odd multiple always you are getting minus 1, 1. Can you see? Odd multiple, 15 pi by 2 minus 1, 17 pi by 2, 1, 19 pi by 2 minus 1. Can you see? Odd multiple of pi by 2. This is what? 9 pi means what? Even multiple of pi by 2 also I can convert it into, right? So anyway, forget about that. This odd multiple always give you either minus 1 or 1, right? So this is very important. So see here, I'm going to define inverse from here. So for that you need to understand first this one. Okay, sin x first you have to understand, then try to understand what will be the inverse of sin x. Okay, so see carefully. So we got the domain here, right? What is the domain of sine function? The domain, I have already given you this one. The domain of sine function is R. All the real numbers, just now I have already shown you. Any real number you take in place of x, y you will get what? Either minus 1 or 1, or between minus 1 to 1. All the values you will get between this. So how you will write? This one will be what? Range, right? Y value was your range. So your range will be minus 1 to 1. So this will be the mapping. I hope it's clear. So when your sine function is when your function is sine, your domain is set of real number, and your codomain means I am going to take range only, right? So your range will be how much? Minus 1 to 1. Okay, so now the important thing is, when I will take inverse of this one, what will happen? So see here, when I have to define inverse, this is your sine function, right? Sine function, this one. Okay, so this is suppose set A, this is suppose B. Okay, so when this is function, I have already shown you, right? Now inverse, I want to study about inverse trigonometric function. So inverse of this one first we will find out. So what will be the inverse? B will become domain here, A will become codomain. So I have drawn like this. Okay, so this will be your inverse. Now I didn't say the inverse function. Okay, so for that you need to check. So see here, this is your B, this is your A, right? Now when I will make inverse, now see here, image of 0 was 0, so this, when I reverse it, image of this 0 will be this one, so 0. Okay, here image of minus pi by 2 was minus 1, so when you reverse it, minus 1 image must be minus pi by 2, minus 1 image is minus pi by 2. Okay, next pi by 2 image is 1, so 1 image will be pi by 2. Same way 3 pi by 2, what is the image? Minus 1, so minus 1 image will be what now? 3 pi by 2, right? So see how I'll draw. 3 pi by 2 image is minus 1, so minus 1 image will be 3 pi by 2. What problem will arise? You just see here. This is very important. If you don't try to understand this one also, no problem. With I will give you the formula, you will memorize it and you can solve the problem. That is not a big deal. Okay, but the thing is, when you will go for competitive exam and all, then you will face problem, because their concept will be important, not your rule. Okay, with the help of concept only, if you simply memorize the rule, then you won't be able to figure out those questions there. Okay, it will be difficult to solve it there. Okay, so try to understand properly. So image of this one minus 1 will be 3 pi by 2. Same way 5 pi by 2, what is the image? 1, so 1 image will be 5 pi by 2, 1 image will be 5 pi by 2. Same way 7 pi by 2 minus 1, so I have not written here, I don't need also. To understand this is sufficient. Again minus 3 pi by 2 I have already done, right? No, minus 3 pi by 2, what is the image? 1, so 1 image will be minus 3 pi by 2. Now can you see, if you keep on finding inverse like this? Okay, now see the problem here. This is your inverse. Okay, but will it be inverse function? Will it be function? Now let's check. To check whether it is functional, what we have to check? All element must have image. So you can see all element is having image. Here also whatever elements are there, those also will be having image. I'm not taking those one. Okay, so because if you take those element here, obviously between this only you will get. Okay, so see here, all element is having image here, but what is the problem? For function, the another condition is what? All element must have exactly how many image? 1 image. Now see here, minus 1, how many image it is having? 1, 2, 3. Now you will have more. If you take all the values here, those also will be having minus 1 as an image. So I'm just taking this one because this is only sufficient. See here, minus 1 is having